happy Fun Fact Friday, you guys, as I open up my lens. It is Thursday night, so this is going up in the morning for you guys, and it's Fun Fact Friday, where I share with you and answer my most frequently asked questions about the things that I use around my house. And today, now many of you said that you didn't even know that Instant Pot made a little 3-quart Instant Pot, but they do, and I'm telling you guys, it's one of my favorite tools. So tonight, we are gonna use this cute little mini 3-quart Instant Pot. I'll leave a link for it down below. I bought mine on Amazon and I love it. I have often said here on my channel that I cannot cook rice for the life of me. I either burn it, or it's crunchy, or it's super wet. I just can't do it. So I don't have to anymore because I use my Instant Pot. What else do I use my little Instant Pot for? I use it for vegetables. I use it to make a quick barbecued pulled chicken or pulled pork dinner, because you can throw a couple pork chops in there. You can throw a bag of frozen chicken in there, and it's just enough to feed my family of 5. Now, I know many of you during this time of, you know, kind of chaos going on, many of you have picked up bags of white rice. Personally, I buy 50-pound bags of white rice. 50 pounds of white rice will fit into 2 5-gallon food grade buckets. I buy those buckets at either Walmart or at Home Depot. And the last that I checked, Home Depot was still selling them. They still had them in stock, at least where I live, which is northern lower Michigan. And but you know, when you buy that much rice, it's kind of like, okay, well, what do you do with it? Like, how many different things can you do with it, right? So I'm going to show you tonight one of the ways that I cook white rice for my family. Now, we are going to be making things stretch because grocery stores are kind of getting empty. We don't know how long we're going to be in quarantine, many of us. 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So we really have to keep inventory of what kind of food we're using, and we really need to make everything kind of stretch in case we can't get out to buy anymore, or in case there just isn't any more to buy. So I'm here to tell you, you don't always have to have a meat with your meal. You can have beans and rice and make it perfectly delicious. You can actually refry some pinto beans and make bean burritos with a Spanish rice to go with it. I'm gonna show you how I make my Spanish rice in that little Instant Pot. Super easy, and just another way to use up that white rice and give it a different flavor. And you can pair it with anything. Now tonight I am making tacos. So we'll be eating the white rice as a side, but many times I put this in a burrito with some beans, some refried beans, and call it dinner. Serve it with some tortilla chips, a nice little salad on the side, and it's perfect. So I'm gonna move you on over there. I'm gonna show you how to make this super easy. In fact, I set this up, I get this going, I brown up my meat, and by the time my meat is browned and I add the taco seasoning to it, my rice is done and it's ready to serve. So, all right, let's make some Spanish rice. The Kneady Homesteader way. First and foremost, I just want to introduce you to the cutest little Instant Pot ever. I'm just gonna kind of put my phone next to it so you guys can see. It's so tiny. And it's perfect. It is perfect for side dishes. It's perfect for a simple main course. I make fajitas in this all the time. If you haven't seen that video from Paul's Rule of Thumb, where he just throws a steak in with a jar of salsa, I do it with chicken. This is the perfect size to do that. It's also the perfect size for rice. Now, I'm going to show you tonight how to do Spanish rice, but I'm going to come back probably sometime either this weekend or next week, and I'm going to show you how I make fried rice in this too, and I serve it with like a kind of like a pepper steak or chicken, kind of like our version of Chinese food. So my kids love it. It's brown fried rice without having to fry it. So I'll bring you back when I make that, and that is on my menu plan. So just like the bigger version of the Instant Pot, This is the mini, and this is the Duo. What is it? It's called the Duo Mini, and it's so adorable. Of course, it has all the same functions as the regular Instant Pot. We're going to be using the rice function. So this is what we're going to put in it. We're going to be using 2 cups of rice. Now I have my rice over on the sink. It's been rinsing for a few minutes under cool water. I do rinse my rice. I just prefer it that way. So we're going to use 2 cups of rice. Then we're going to use a pint of home canned chicken stock. That's the equivalent of 2 cups. You can use any kind of chicken stock. If you don't have any kind of stock, you can just use water. I like to use stock. I make a lot of stock. I love onion stock in this. Is really my favorite. Ham stock works in this. Today we're going to use chicken stock because I know many of you will have that on hand. But if you don't, just use water. You'll be fine. Another thing we're going to put in is a can of these diced tomatoes with the green chilies. And sorry, my camera is it's on its last leg and it does not like to focus. Now I buy these at Aldi, and when I buy them, I try to buy them in a flat. I use them all the time. It's one of my favorite things to use. I think they run about, I don't know if they're 45 cents a can or 55 cents a can. There's something like that, and I absolutely love them. So if you are an Aldi shopper, pick some of these up. You will love them. They're just tomatoes with the green chilies. We're also going to be using a little bit of taco seasoning. We're going to use some granulated onion and granulated garlic, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of sea salt, and that is it. So we're going to go ahead and dump this in. So I'm going to go over and grab my rice. Okay, so 2 cups of rice, washed, rinsed, I guess you would say. In the Instant Pot it goes. Okay, so there's that. All right, then all we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and dump this can of tomatoes right inside, just like that. Now, when it comes to the chicken stock, if you are a home canner, you are going to first look at your stock. Make sure the color looks good. You don't see any mold or floaties or anything abnormal in it. Then you're going to go ahead and you're going to check the seal. Okay, that's what I do. I check the seal and make sure that it's sealed really well. Then I'm going to go ahead and listen for the pop. Okay, and a splash, because sometimes that does happen with stock. And you know I gotta clean it up because I don't like me a mess. All right, so then we're gonna open it up. All right, I do throw my lids away. I get that question all the time if I reuse my lids. I do not reuse, especially my pressure canned lids. Water bath canning I do, and then I will reuse them on dehydrated foods, but never my pressure canned. All right, so then we're gonna take a look at it. It looks beautiful. Then we're gonna smell it. Oh, and it smells, woo, so good. Okay, so now that I know my chicken stock is beautiful, we're gonna go ahead and just pour that right into the Instant Pot like that. Again, if you don't have stock, that's fine. Just use water. Okay. Give that a little stir. All right, so now I'll put you over here where the lighting is just a little bit better for you guys. Okay, so you know I don't measure anything, so I'm going to try to measure for you guys. I just, you know, I go by look. So we're going to use about, if I had to measure, we're going to use about a tablespoon of taco seasoning, okay? And trust me, you guys, for those of you who don't cook from scratch, the more you cook from scratch, the more of a visual cook you will be, and you can measure everything out. If I had to guess at salt, I'm going to say a half a teaspoon. I don't use much salt. You do want to salt it though because you're making rice and rice is very bland. About a quarter teaspoon of black pepper. Okay. And then I would say about a teaspoon of garlic and a teaspoon of granulated salt. I do not use powdered, I use granulated. I just think it tastes better. That's a personal preference, so you use what you have. I also, and I forgot to add this. You don't have to add it if you don't want to, but I like it. And that is chopped chives. Now, I like my own dehydrated chopped chives, but I am all out, which is why I'm going to be growing a lot and dehydrating it myself. And if I had to guess, I would say about 2 tablespoons of the chopped chives. Again, you put in what you want. You can just do salt and pepper if you want. You don't even have to add all this. But my family likes it flavorful, so here we go. All right, so you give this a nice little stir. All right, it already smells amazing. Okay. And now, if you want to, you can add a little dollop of Better Than Bouillon in the chicken. It will give it extra chicken flavor if you want. If you don't have chicken stock, that's a good option. If you're using water, but you do have some, you know, Better Than Bouillon on hand, you can add a little dollop in here. It'll give it a nice chicken flavor. That's totally up to you. You know, it's your rice. You do it the way you like it. And you know what? Sometimes, every time I make this, sometimes I make it a little different. And it's always good. So we're gonna go ahead and put on the lid. We're gonna make sure that the vent is closed back here. Heather, aim the camera, please. Sorry. All right, rice. All right, and I do mine for 15 minutes. You can do it for 12. You know, I have littles and they like soft rice, so we cook it for 15. So you set it and forget it. I cook it on the pressure part will be low. It will be on the more, which means it'll be 15 minutes. The normal is 12, and I think the lower one, I don't know, I think that one is 10, but don't quote me, I never use it. So pressure low, and you know, you can change all that by pressing the button there and the button there before it turns to auto. So that's it. Now it's gonna heat up, and while this is heating up, I'm gonna go ahead and start browning up my beef. And when this is done, I will bring you back. I will vent it. I'll show you how it vents. And super easy. If you guys don't have an Instant Pot, it's a game changer, especially if you're a busy mama. So, all right. I will see you back here in 15 minutes. Well, 1 second your time, 15 minutes. So, my Instant Pot went off. So what we're gonna do, I just put on a glove, tap that open, let it steam out. It'll take a couple minutes to steam. And when that's done, we'll open this up and I'll show you what it looks like. So that just took 3 minutes, and now I'm gonna go ahead and open that up away from you so you don't get a facial. And then that's what it's gonna look like. Hold on, let me turn the big light for you. All right, there we go. Now you can see a little bit better. So that's what it looks like. Now I'm gonna go ahead and give this a quick stir, which I can't do one-handed, so let's see. I'm gonna put you down without dropping you. All right, so you can use a fork. I just use the little spatula that comes with my Instant Pot and give that a mix. All right, so there we go. Now, what I did is I went ahead and I warmed up some home canned black beans. Now, if you don't can your own black beans, you can go ahead and just buy black beans. This is a whole meal, you guys. You do not need taco meat for this. You could serve this with some refried beans on a burrito shell and have a nice burrito. I've steamed you up. There you have it. Okay, perfect. And it's delicious. So I'm gonna give it a taste and make sure it tastes okay. You always wanna taste your food before serving it. That way if it's missing anything, you can go ahead and add whatever it's missing.
It's perfect. It's perfect. You can make taco bowls with this. Make anything. You could just serve this with tortilla chips and salsa. Anyway, okay, let me make my kids' plate, and then I will show you how I serve this. Guys, so this one is Mina's, and so I just serve the rice on the side with a little bit of cheese, and then my kids just like the taco meat, some cheese, and some lettuce, and that's it. So like I said, you can add this to a burrito, you can add it to a 7-layer dip, you can use it however you want. It's fantastic. I hope this inspires you to give it a try. Again, one of my favorite tools in my kitchen, the little 3-quart Instant Pot. It is my favorite. And yeah, I hope this was helpful to you guys. So, and with that, I will say good night to you. I will probably see you hopefully sometime this weekend. I really want to start germinating my seeds for my garden. So when I do that, I will definitely be turning on the camera and taking you guys along with that. So, all right, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you give it a try, and I'll see you soon.